As Eric Thomas says, you have to give it everything you've got. No more TV, no more partying, no more playing. If you don't have a 4.0, what you need to be doing is studying. Get off the phone! Sorry, I'm not available until the end of this year. You've reached the right number, but you've called me at the wrong time. I'm about to start studying now. I dare you to keep retaking your exams over and over until you pass. I dare you to have 100% attendance. I dare you to stop missing classes like you're soft. That's the problem with a lot of students. It's a soft generation, so they quit everything.
And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep going through life and not even caring whether you lose or not, if you keep failing and failing your exams because you're making the same mistakes again and again, if you keep letting it happen, then it's going to become a culture. You need to stop being a victim and start creating the life that you're capable of. There is no excuse for not living up to your full potential. This will only happen when you stop waiting for good things to happen to you and you start taking action to make them happen. That means stop waiting for the right time to study. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Just study straight away. Stop letting negative people influence you and drag you down with them. Push forward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to fight. I'm going to do what it takes to get the highest grade possible in these exams. I'm going to do everything in my power, every single day, to stop being a victim and start making something of my life.
In the words of Eric Thomas, you get from being a loser, low self-esteem, doubt, and fear. But if you can find your way to this side, guys, it's sweeter on this side. Greatness, it's about getting better, never settling, never saying, well, I got a PhD now, so I'm finished. You know at the end of the day, when you lay your head down and sleep, if you've pushed yourself as hard as you could, or if you just took the backseat and let life do what it wanted with you.
Most of you won't be successful. Because when you get tired, you quit. There's no motivation or drive there to push you through the tiredness. And you always want to blame other people. You always want to hold other people accountable. You're so quick to point out other people's flaws, but you never look at yourself and point out your own flaws. And if you don't do that, then you're not going to improve them and grow. There's a lot of potential within you, a lot of talent, but you need to realize that your talent is not going to create itself. Your talent isn't going to nurture itself. I knew it would take sacrifices. I knew it would take months and years of blood, sweat, and tears to reach the grades that I was achieving. But that's how you get to the top 5%. No one was doing what I was doing. No one was achieving the grades I was achieving. As Gary Vaynerchuk used to say, to be an anomaly, you've got to act like one. And that was my mantra. If you do exactly what everyone else is doing, then by its very definition, you will become average. And if you're happy with average, then so be it. That's fine. But I know you're capable of so much more. You only have one life. It doesn't have to be average. Make the most of it. No one at your university has ever achieved extraordinary grades that didn't have huge obstacles they had to overcome. Obstacles that every student has. Obstacles that you're experiencing right now, trying to stop you from fulfilling your potential. At first, it's the motivation and discipline that keeps you going. But the motivation and discipline can only help you short term. It's the passion you have within you that keeps you going. Not just the passion for studying and learning new things, but the passion for improving yourself. The passion for striving to become a better person each day. It's the passion to building a growth mindset that will help you become phenomenal in the long term.
And if you know anyone with a growth mindset, if you know anyone around you that is focused on pursuing their dreams, that is dedicated to becoming the best version of themselves every day, you'll probably notice they seem a lot happier. They have an optimism about them that other people just don't have. And it's something that's so difficult to explain, but when you get there, you'll know exactly what I mean. I was not the smartest in my class, or the wealthiest, or even the most academic, but my goals were clear. I knew exactly what I wanted to achieve. I was focused in on that 4.0, and nothing could take me away from achieving my goal. I knew what I needed to do. I knew what it was going to take to graduate in the top 5% of the university. I knew I needed to study every single night when I got home. And when I started to get tired, that was the time when I needed to carry on. Because when I started to get tired, I knew at that point, most of the people in my class were going to give up and watch TV or watch Netflix, but I hadn't come this far just to be average. So I kept pushing and kept studying. I knew that if I missed even one night, it could snowball into 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights. Everything I did was to take one step closer to achieving my goals. I'd wake up at 5 a.m., go straight to the gym. I'd be at the library by 6:30 before most people were even awake. By the time classes started at 9 a.m., I had already been studying for 2.5 hours. And once classes had finished at 4 p.m., I'd go home, eat, and get a few hours more studying in before bed. It was hard work, but I did what it took. Your educational journey is going to be hard. I can promise you that. There are 2 paths you can take: the easy road or the hard road. If you choose the hard road, it means you choose to study when your friends are out partying. You start writing your report when the rest of the class don't even know the deadline yet. You're already awake at 5 a.m., on your way to the library when the rest of your friends are still sleeping. If you can find enough focus and motivation to do these hard things, the things that everyone else struggles with, then your educational journey will be easy. The grades will be easy. The scholarships will be easy. But it's a choice that you have to consciously make. You have to step up and take that path. And it will be lonely at times. It will feel like you're the only one doing this. But that's the whole point. The whole idea of this is to be standing at the top of the mountain while everyone else is still at the bottom. Because you took the path that so many people are unwilling to take. Okay, so you know where you want to be, at the top of that mountain. But why aren't you there yet? Why is it that you're stopping yourself from getting there? Why is it that you just settle for the grades that you're getting? Because doing well at school and university, it's not easy. It's difficult to get good grades. It takes a lot of focus, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of late nights and early mornings. But it's absolutely worth it. You are in charge of the life you live. And when you're in charge, you study hard, regardless of how you're feeling. Whether you're feeling lazy, tired, stressed, frustrated, bored, it doesn't matter. This doesn't stop you.
It's the easiest way to turn your grades around. Changing your attitude about your studying. It's when you decide that the grades you're achieving right now are not representative of what you're able to achieve. Because what you'll notice is that these students that are getting the top grades, their attitude towards their studying is completely different to those that are achieving the lowest grades. Attitude is more important than circumstances, more important than failures, more important than successes, more important than money. It's even more important than talent or skill. And we have a choice every day. What attitude are we going to have when approaching our studying. You can't change what grades you were given up to now. You can't change the exams that you failed. But you can change the attitude you have towards your studying today. And you know, it's going to be hard. You know there's going to be ups and downs, but that's what's going to make it worth it in the end. If you really want it enough, when it comes to graduation day, you're going to look in the mirror and say, I did this. Despite all the obstacles and setbacks, I did it. And that feeling you will have of accomplishment and triumph will be like nothing you've ever experienced. It's a feeling you will take with you for the rest of your life. So when it's time to study and your automatic reaction is to fight it and procrastinate, take a few minutes to think about it. Think about what you're doing. That small decision of choosing to procrastinate is you choosing to settle with what you have. Push past it. Study. You will come into obstacles. You probably already have. Whether it's procrastination, friendship problems, family problems, money problems, whatever it is, it's not going to be easy. But pain is just a byproduct. If you haven't experienced pain, then you will not have the motivation to become the best version of yourself. The pain is what will fuel you.
The most successful people on the planet have had to overcome catastrophic obstacles, and they came out on the other side stronger and wiser. Bill Gates' first business failed miserably. Albert Einstein didn't speak until he was 4 years old. Oprah Winfrey gave birth at 14 years old to a baby boy who died shortly afterwards. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before creating the light bulb. Franklin Roosevelt became partially paralyzed at the age of 39 for the rest of his life. He went on to lead the United States as one of the most respected presidents in history. So it's not only you that is facing obstacles. It happens to everyone. But how you deal with them is what will set you apart from everyone else. And as they say, after the rain comes the rainbow. There are two sides of pain that a lot of people don't really understand. There's a side of pain that most people can relate to, the difficult side, the uncomfortable side. You always remember what that feels like. But then there's the other side of pain. It's called effort. It's called winning. It's called, if you can push through the suffering, there's some great things waiting for you on the other side. But you don't get to see them if you give up right now. And that's why a lot of people don't get to see this side of pain, because they give up before they get there.
It's not easy to continue studying when every part of your body is telling you to give up. It's so easy to give up. But it's at this point you need to give it everything you've got. It's about pushing yourself to the point where you feel out of your comfort zone. Because it's outside your comfort zone where the growth happens. No one has become successful while staying within their comfort zone. Absolutely no one. The first 3 seconds that you start studying, that's the hardest part. But if you can push through that, if you can push through the first few seconds of studying, it gets a lot easier. You realize it was the thought of studying that you were more bothered about than the actual studying itself. It's never as bad as you thought it would be. You've got to stop complaining. You've got to stop the negativity. Complaining has 0 benefits. It doesn't help anything. It just pulls others down with you. You've got to take action in your life. What are you doing about it? You've got to find a solution to your problem. Don't be the problem. I see it so many times where someone is getting bad grades, but they blame everyone else but themselves. Believe me, that person is going nowhere. Nothing's going to happen in their life. And if that's you, if you're the person that is blaming everyone else for the situation they're in and not taking action for their own responsibilities, then this is for you. Take action. Take control. If you keep studying at your full potential, and if you keep reading and keep learning and keep asking questions, you'll see the results for yourself. You'll see your grades increase significantly.
You need to make studying something worth fighting for. Something that gives you a purpose when you wake up in the morning. Human beings are all forces, and that force needs to have an effect. You need to have a reason why you're moving in a certain direction. And when all our needs are met, everything is relatively easy. We don't need to hunt for food. We don't need to fight to survive. We've lost a lot of basic purpose, and we haven't really replaced it with anything. We need a purpose. We need a mission. Because when we have a mission, human beings are happy. I'm here to tell you that if you make studying your mission, if you make it your purpose, your educational journey will be taken to a whole new level. Let me tell you a story. Russell Burchard talked in his book in the 1800s about the happiest person he knew. The happiest person he could find was a groundskeeper on a farm. And every day he was at war with the rabbits of the farm. He just declared the rabbits were the enemy, and he went out with his gun and he would hunt as many as possible. And he would go from morning until night, and he would kill as many as he could, because the rabbits were his enemy. And he was so happy for one simple reason. He had a mission. He had a purpose. His purpose was to destroy the rabbits. And you can see the lack of purpose in people that are unhappy. They seem aimless. They don't really know why they're there. My mission at university was to achieve a first-class degree. And at times, I got this I don't care attitude. Maybe there was something going on in my personal life, or I had a few bad days in a row. And at that moment, that's when I lose momentum, because I lost my mission. And then I get depressed because I lost my purpose.
But when you have your purpose, when you have your mission, as Les Brown puts it, you begin to realize that your life is not over, and the game does not stop just because you failed an exam or came into some difficulties with your studying. To feel pain and rise up anyway, and say the fight is not lost just because I failed in the first round. The game is not lost just because I got tackled or ran into an opposition. And many of you have ran into something. Got some bruises and some cuts. And you're sitting on the sideline nursing your wounds when you need to get back up again and get back in the game. Stop wasting valuable time. If you want something, you have got to be relentless. You've got to learn how to be creative. You've got to learn how to be resourceful. To hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure, this is the winner's quality. What this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists, and it becomes available only when a man or woman is in that state of mind and has a clear purpose and is fully determined to not quit until they find it. You deserve this. Don't let anyone stop you. Decide that you're going to push yourself. You're in full control. Don't give up on yourself and live your life with purpose.